Well, my assessment about Nigeria's democracy would be that we have, just like democracies all around the world, and democracies in most new states in particular, we have made significant progress. Yet, there are setbacks and challenges that still exist. However, there is the potential for prospects to be able to overcome and surmount most of these existing challenges. Because democracy, of course, is a journey. It is not a destination. And so we're all a part of this journey, and we have made significant strides. One of the things that we will never be able to take away from the Nigerian democratic dispensation is that since the return to democracy in 1999, we have experienced series and sequences of uninterrupted transition from one democratic government to another. And that is one thing I think we should applaud the Nigerian people for, that resilience, to be able to say we will resist the urge for military intervention or supplantement, as we see happening across the African continent, from Mali to these other countries where we have witnessed coups and counter coups in recent times. Nigeria has been able to say we put that behind us and we're embracing wholly the concept of democracy. Again, you would also see that in 2015, where the United States was contesting the outcome of its elections, that is alleged to be one of the most advanced democracies in the world, Nigeria organized one of the most freest and fairest elections alluded to by the international community. So I think we're making good progress. Well, the moving of Democracy Day from May to June, May 29 to June, is meant to signify a pivotal point in our history, where Nigeria was able to conduct one of the most adjudged, freest and fairest elections in its history. But the reality is, much as that is the case, we have moved beyond that period. And we are also in the midst of a full-fledged democratic dispensation. And so there will be a lot of, like I said in the beginning, successes, setbacks, of course, prospects for advancement. But to say that we have not met, or we have not adhered to the spirit of the annulled election of 1993 to drive the country into an election that will be seen as free and fair would be to deny our own existence, because we have made, like I said, some strides. You look at the elections in 2007, for example, and the one in 2011, you will come to the realization that we have been able to make some significant input. For example, the voter cards were not what they used to be in the past. So that in itself is one of the important steps that we have been able to take in our recent democracy. So I think we're getting there. But like I said, democracy is never a destination, it is a journey. And there is no such thing as the most advanced democracy in the world. It only depends on the application and applicability of each state to the democratic tenets. Well, truth to the issue, you see, democracy does not exist in isolation. Democracy was a system of government, or is a system of government that we adopted from countries around the world. But the truth of the matter is, you will come to find that even these countries that we are trying to copycat in terms of the adaptation of democracy, they also have the challenges of elitism in politics as well. It is a known phenomenon in politics around the world. You cannot divorce democracy from elitism, which is what we basically call Godfatherism in this climb. But the extent to which these godfathers and elites make their mark, make their impact, dictate to the political class is what varies from one society to another. Of course, in the Nigerian context, you find that Godfatherism plays a very significant role, and it shouldn't be the case. But with the move of the president in the just concluded APC primaries, it goes to tell you that we're perhaps beginning to imbibe the culture of disengaging ourselves from holding on to certain godfathers or certain individuals to dictate the direction of our political affairs. We're seeing that play out within the internal party mechanisms, right? The mechanisms are beginning to show themselves as tools that are going to be used to curb this kind of occurrences. But taking it out of politics entirely will not be possible. You see, even Barack Obama's emergence was as a result of the influence of a lot of people. The Bilderberg Group, for example, the Council for Foreign Relations, for example, the Trilateral Commission, for example. These are all organizations headed by elites in the United States, and they were influential in Barack Obama's emergence. They were also influential in the emergence of Hillary Clinton as a candidate of the Democratic Party in the United States. But Barack Obama did not submit his administration to these individuals. Now, this is where we get it wrong. And the reason why we get it wrong is because, you see, politics in our clime has been inundated with monetization. We see politics as the last resort. It is one of the most lucrative ventures as far as we are concerned. So everybody wants to go into it, regardless of what commitment you're making or what pact you're signing with the devil. You just go, because you go there, you amass wealth, and you go your way. And so because of a lack of responsiveness and accountability to the electorate, it has become a venture for everybody to just go, and it's a bazaar, free for all. Everybody goes, takes whatever he wants to take, and he leaves the space. And that shouldn't be the case, because again, like I said, you see, at the end of the day, what we're electing these individuals into office for is about good governance. And so a lot more needs to be done on the part of even the electorates themselves. Because if we allow for this system to continue without putting it in check, you see, bad governance is like a stray bullet. It doesn't pick and choose. This is the consequence of this sort of actions, and so a lot more needs to be done. We need to cut down the cost of governance. We need to ensure that people we elect into positions of authority are people who are brought there on the basis of merit rather than the mediocrity we have been talking about today. Sentiments on religion, sentiments on region, and so on and so forth. These things have never helped us. The federal character has not helped us in any way. So I think a lot needs to be done to set Nigeria's political dimension, all right, or the political architecture in the right direction. But I am hopeful that we will get there someday. My friend, you see, as much as we try to talk about these things within the context of Nigerian politics, like I said to you, it's a universal phenomenon. Did Trump not accuse the electorate of stealing his votes and mandates? So you hear about these things all over the world. Again, you must also be fair to the Nigerian political system, because it is one that has just embraced democracy, if at all we have embraced democracy, just a few years ago. And some years down the line, we shouldn't begin to crucify the Nigerian, both the elite and the electorate. So I think, I mean, you make a comparative analysis of this scenario you have painted, of an individual saying his mandate was stolen. Take that and juxtapose that with what was happening in Nigeria in 2007 and even 2011. You will see that we have covered significant gap in terms of, you know, narrowing the challenges of this recurrence of electorate mandates being stolen and so on and so forth, election malpractices and so on. So I think we will somehow find our way out of this. It is all a part of the social psychological issues that has affected us as a result of the military interventions and counter interventions. That has changed our thought process and our mentality towards governance. But gradually, I am hopeful that we will get out of this, because I'm one of those unrepentant optimists of the Nigerian dream. Well, I believe that as Nigerians have been patient and resilient through previous elections, we will also go through this one. The beauty of it is that we have people who have all their lives claimed to have been prepared for governance as the presidential flag bearers of virtually all political parties. I'm not talking about just the two bigwigs. Peter Obi also has claimed to have gained enough experience. Yeah, you also have Kwankwaso on NNPP platform as well. You have Ashiwaju, who is the Jagaban of politics and professor, as they claim. You have Atiku Abubakar, who is also another superintendent, not a lieutenant or even a field marshal. So we're hopeful that at the end of the day, these elections will be conducted. The outcomes, we hope and pray, will be accepted to all. But even where there are not, there are channels through which people can seek redress. And so I am very hopeful that things will turn around for good.